Welcome to the Langara Voice. I'm Alexandra Grant.
And I'm Katiwe Rudd.
Just 3 days after refusing to open new shelters, BC Housing Minister Rich Coleman announced 2 new emergency locations. Matt Hinman has the story.
For the past 2 nights, the shelter at First United Church has been ordered to enforce its capacity restrictions, turning away dozens of people even as temperatures drop in the city. This came after BC Housing Minister Rich Coleman said on Tuesday that the province would not be funding as many seasonal shelter spaces as in years past. Today, he changed his tune.
Big thanks to the Minister and the Premier for coming through in the crunch here and making sure that we have adequate beds to meet the needs. Hopefully that is enough and we don't have more people outside through the cold of winter.
That had been the problem Tuesday night, when the staff at First United were forced to turn people away, something they say they've never had to do.
Myself, I don't turn people away, but I had people in here warming up, and that's not the norm. Not the normal one.
Fire and Rescue Captain Gabe Roeder said inspections have been ongoing at First United and other shelters all year, but this is the first time there have been capacity problems.
The inspections have been ongoing, and they're ongoing 365 days a year. They're ongoing all over the city of Vancouver. It's not like we're picking on one location. That's not what we do.
But First United staff dispute that claim, saying this is the first time the city has cracked down on their high capacity.
They've never had to turn people away before. It was always there, but it's never been so reinforced as it has been recently.
Robertson maintains that the timing of the First United crackdown is based only on measures proposed by the fire chief.
Well, it hasn't been over capacity for quite some time. Since the fire department's been monitoring it, they have stayed right around their capacity level.
But the city's housing advocate, Judy Graves, says there hasn't been any spike at First United and that they've been over capacity for years.
First United Church for at least the past 2 years has had more people in the building than can be adequately managed on most nights. We don't have adequate shelter space tonight.
Regardless of the shelter fracas, Robertson says the city still needs an additional 1,000 supportive housing units before all of Vancouver's homeless have a home of their own. Matt Hindman, Langara News, Vancouver.
It's the season of giving, and many charities encourage generosity for those less fortunate. But not everyone shares with the same sentiment. Daniel Palmer has a story.
Many charities are asking for your help to meet the demands of a busy holiday season. CKNW held their annual orphan fundraiser.
We aim to raise $1 million today to distribute to children with special needs in British Columbia.
The Greater Vancouver Food Bank says demand is high this year and is hoping to collect donations of food and cash. Langara English instructors took the day to lend a hand at the food bank.
Talked to one of the volunteers just in the coffee room. She said the stuff here is going to last about 2 weeks, so not a long time.
The CBC is holding its 25th annual open house and food drive.
At this time of year in December, we really have to work hard because we need to raise 80% of our yearly budget right in this time period of Christmas. CBC Day helps us raise a lot of money for food banks right across the province, so it's a real celebration for us.
I think when we first started this fundraiser, we would make $10,000 or $20,000. I think last year we were up around $550,000, and it's really needed.
But not everyone believes food banks are a long-term answer to poverty in the community.
I don't think the CBC should be celebrating the fact that we've had food banks for 29 years.
Charity is good. People are hungry now, but charity won't end hunger and it won't end poverty.
A CBC spokesperson said that despite the protest, they want to send a positive message with their open house and food drive. The CBC and Greater Vancouver Food Bank hope to raise more than $500,000 in donations today. While many of the organizers sympathize with the protesters, they say the food bank is still an integral part of the community. Daniel Palmer for the Langara News.
Women of BC got a positive checkup today from the province's top doctor. However, his report stressed that many women are still falling through the gaps. Alana Harding-Rudy has the details.
The first comprehensive look at women's health since 1995, the report found that BC women are among the healthiest in the country. They live longer, have low rates of teen pregnancy and abortions, and earn higher incomes in more powerful professional positions than they did a decade ago.
To stay healthy I watch what I eat, and I do a lot of running every day, and I do a lot of yoga and swimming at the UBC pool.
Making sure to if I'm not keeping up with yoga, I do make sure to go take the stairs as opposed to the elevator, or go for walks around the house.
While rates of HIV infection have fallen, more women are suffering from chronic diseases like diabetes, asthma, and high blood pressure. Rates of sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydia have also risen.
We're definitely seeing increases in diabetes, and I think we can relate that to basically unhealthier behaviors.
We do need a comprehensive and renewed women's health strategy for the province to bring together the major areas that are being worked on in the province and to make sure we can fill the gaps that still exist.
According to the report, depression has doubled since the last study, and dementia is expected to triple in the next 25 years.
There's clearly, as this population ages, a need to focus on chronic disease prevention and chronic disease management, and focusing on reforming or rebuilding a primary healthcare system.
We need to make sure that we are in a position to make sure that every woman in this province has access to the best possible health care.
Further prevention is clearly important, but actually helping people manage and live with chronic diseases in the best way possible is perhaps is as important.
We know that this is where we really have to focus some of our efforts. Women in heart disease, women in diabetes, we have a lot of work to do in these areas.
Alana Harding-Rooney, Langara News.
No morning coffee and no way to open shop for hundreds of BC Hydro customers this morning. Everything went dark in 1,300 homes and businesses when the power went off in Mount Pleasant. Reporter Devin McKenzie sheds light on the situation.
Vancouver residents were mildly inconvenienced this morning as a power outage left thousands of homes and businesses in the dark. The outage affected the north end of Mount Pleasant area and left some people without their morning coffee. The lights were out from 10 a.m. to noon north of 6th Avenue today, forcing coffee shops and restaurants like this McDonald's to close. Most potential customers just went somewhere else.
Down to my boat, I think. There's no coffee in the boat, but I could probably find some at the casino there, right by my boat.
But not everyone was so patient. The workday at the ICBC Claims Office ground to a halt because of the outage. This receptionist was so behind in her work that when our cameras caught up with her after power was restored, she was too busy to talk. For most others, though, the darkness was simply a bit of a drag.
Our system wasn't working, our phones were working, but our computer wasn't, our internet wasn't.
A spokesperson for BC Hydro said the power loss was caused by a tripped underground switch. The company confirmed power could be out in some areas until 6 p.m. But for many Hydro customers, like the Starbucks on Yukon and 4th, the power's on, the coffee's brewed, and the customers are happy. I'm Devin McKenzie with The Voice.
BC Hydro says they have crews out working on the problem and will have power restored everywhere as soon as possible.
As the fall semester wraps up, students and faculty are grinding out their last assignments preparing for final exams. Many have devised their own ways of coping with the stress. Emma Crawford has the details.
The end of semester can drive stress levels through the roof. In the final stretch, students are plagued with an onslaught of major assignments and final exams.
Coming out of high school, you can kind of get away with not studying that much, but when you get to college, you can't do that at all. You've got to study a lot more, and that gets very stressful because you've got to study way more hours than you had to in high school.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stress comes from just like the end of the term, like right now, and then it's nice to have like a couple of days where you can study, which is good, but it is pretty stressful.
Having effective strategies to deal with the heavy workload can help things go more smoothly.
I just make sure I do a little bit every day and don't try and cram it all into one night, which I do end up doing sometimes. But
I'm a heavy coffee drinker though, so I'd say I drink it to stay awake to be able to finish everything else. So without it, I don't think I'd be able to function as well.
Students aren't the only ones dealing with the crunch. Faculty members also feel the pinch and have their own ways of handling things.
It's hard to say in some sense because when I get really, really busy, I usually close my door and try to just really focus on what I'm doing and get it done and be efficient with my time.
But some students know exactly what they plan on doing to let loose once exams are done.
Snowboarding!
I don't know, I guess. A handful of students were willing to give us a preview of some of the shenanigans they're going to get into.
Jump, 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 jump,
Sex and beer. No matter what strategy students are choosing, this is a difficult time for most people here at Langara. But one thing that's for sure, the end is in sight. Emma Crawford, Langara News.
After the break, we'll be looking at how to get and how to give over the holiday season.
Also, Leah Gopal will let you know if you'll be needing earmuffs or an umbrella for the unusual winter we have on its way. More right after this.
You look fantastic. Why are you taking so many pictures of yourself? Nobody cares. You like coffee, I see. You think people care you're drinking coffee? What's with the hashtags? Nobody cares. Oh no, now you're tweeting on the toilet. This is not good. This is why nobody follows you. Because nobody cares.
If you're one of those people who leave your holiday shopping to the last minute, local malls are coming to the rescue. They're staying open round the clock. Here's Jen St. Denis at Metrotown Mall.
It's the first week of December, and local shopping centers are getting ready to welcome an onslaught of shoppers.
Moonlight Madness is extended shopping hours at Metropolis and Metrotown from December 17th to December 23rd. The hours are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., and it's just an extra chance for people to get their Christmas shopping in.
Metropolis at Metrotown has extended their hours for the holiday season to cope with last-minute shoppers.
I'm not one to go early, and then I get stressed out towards the end. So yeah, I'm trying to do it as early as I possibly can this year.
There are a select few who seem to take advantage of the extending shopping hours.
It's just the guys, because we know what we want. We don't care for crowds. We just want to get in and get out.
Savvy shoppers know to plan in advance, and sometimes wisdom comes with age.
I try to not leave it up to the last minute because that's horrible, but I usually look for really good deals. I try and find things that are most useful for my family members instead of frivolous things.
I can't speak for a lot of other customers, but for myself, I'm just unorganized, so sometimes I'll think, okay, well, I have time, and then your calendar gets busy, and then you just run out of time. So it's great that there are extended hours.
To reduce your shopping stress, plan ahead, look for deals, and take advantage of those extra shopping hours. For Langara News, this is Jen St. Denis at Metropolis at Metrotown.
And now moving to sports. The men's and women's UBC basketball teams wrapped up an inconsistent first half of the new year. Both are gearing up their effort for the rest of the year. Sean Gill has the story.
For the first time in a decade, the UBC men's basketball team has lost 2 games in a row. Coming off 2 straight losses last weekend in Calgary, the coaching staff worked them hard in several practices this week, preaching defense.
Since we lost, practice has been so intense. It's been really intense. Kev's, he's been on us defensively, more so defensively, and I guess more so like focusing on like shot selection and pass to them.
At today's practice, assistant coach Casey Archibald repeated the call for more defense from his players.
We're definitely still looking for someone who can really lock down the defender, be a lockdown defender. We've given up a lot of points, and then just a leader on the floor.
The players are looking forward to redeeming themselves in the second half in their pursuit of a CIS championship.
Man, I'm trying to take it this year. It's my last year, and me, Balraj, G-Bath, Nathan, you, all our last years, we all been here for a while, and last year we came third, the year before that we came second, right? So this is our year, and all of us believe we can actually do it this year.
It's on us. It's not like it's a team thing, but it's all on us. Like, you just have to hustle, like dig down inside and play our game.
The women's side are also coming off a loss going into the winter break and are looking to bounce back in the new year.
And this weekend we lost in overtime and we were a little disappointed in that. But we finished up 4-2. Our winning percentage is number 1 in Canada West Pacific. So, we feel like we've, grown as a group and done fairly well.
For Langara News, this is Sean Gill from War Memorial Gym with the UBC Thunderbirds.
Bring out the toques and scarves because winter is officially here. Here's Mona Cassidy with what you need to know when fighting the cold.
Snow has fallen on Vancouver's local mountains, but the city streets are still free of the white stuff. However, the frosty air is a reminder that the snowfall is not far away. Every year, Vancouver slows down in the colder weather, but there are a few things you can do to make sure this season goes as smoothly as possible. Snow tires are one of the most important safety features of winter, but most people don't buy them until it's absolutely necessary.
Better grip and better traction below 7 degrees Celsius. Snow tire sales don't start until snowfall because everybody panics, waits till last minute.
Make sure to get yours before it's too late. Keeping warm is essential, but this can be hard with the damp, wet cold of the West Coast. Brent Palmer of Mountain Equipment Co-op always sees a surge of customers stocking up on layering items.
In Vancouver, weather can change in a second, so really we promote a lot of layering here. We see a flood of people as soon as they walk out their door and get cold.
Palmer suggests taking advantage of everything the winter has to offer instead of complaining about the cold.
You make a point of getting them out in the elements and make sure that you've got them ready and you've got little surprises along the way, like hand warmers if they're getting too cold, and hot chocolate, of course.
Winter weather also takes a toll on TransLink. When the snow comes, it often blocks sensors, causing unnecessary emergency braking. TransLink plans to staff all stations and de-ice all power rails. Bus service is only as good as the road conditions, says TransLink. Unfortunately, not much can be done about the conditions besides clearing of snow. This is Mona Cassidy for Langara News.
Christmas is just around the corner and the holiday season is alive in Vancouver. Whether you're with friends and family or on your own, there's plenty to do to get you feeling festive. Carly Wignes reports.
I'm Carly with the Langara Voice at the German Christmas Market for its 2nd year in a row in Vancouver.
Important to know that we have Kids Day, a lot of activities for kids, so the carousel obviously.
Yeah.
Lollipop decorating and gingerbread decorating, candle decorating, so all things for little kids.
Right around the merry-go-round, we just had banana and dipped in chocolate, and now we're going to meander along and look at all these toys.
The air is filled with rich aromas of sweet and savory treats as local musicians serenade guests with carols. Booths are filled with a variety of different items, like chestnuts roasting over a safely sealed...
It's like a meaty sweet nut.
Okay.
So it's like a sweet potato sort of thing.
I guess you have to check out the food vendors and you have to have a Glühwein, so. This is my favorite vendor so far. I think it's great. I mean, it's very interesting, all the different shops and that, and a lot of stuff I haven't ever seen.
Our life, come around the corner. I've got more than everybody's doing this.
Meanwhile, at Robson Rink, skaters show off their moves.
Great rink. It's the only outdoor rink in, the lower mainland other than Gres Mountain. And the staff here are pretty awesome. They're very helpful, very informative. They're great people.
Young and old, skilled and not so skilled. The rink is free for everyone to enjoy.
We get it pretty busy at night, when the older crowd comes in, and it's good.
This is Carly Wignes with Langara News.
Sounds like a lovely way to spend a holiday.
I know, it definitely gets you into the holiday spirit. That's it for us tonight. I'm Alexandra Grant.
And I'm Kiwi Red. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, I can't. I don't do improv.
You're gonna start.
Dime bag? Wait. Hi, I'm Celine Albany.
And I'm Jared Ganan.
then this is Langara News.
Well, hi there. I'm Kyla Jonas.
And I'm Brittany Lee.
Sexier!
Hello, I'm Derek Bedry.
And I'm Grace.
Derek Bedry.
Good evening. My name's Jesse Winter.
I'm Leah Goebel, and this is Langara News. This is going in my portfolio, so... Am I supposed to grab it? What do I do with it?
Yo, Granville Street, yo, my homies.
Job interviews have been one of the most stressful situations. A local non-profit organization.
Job interviews have to be one of the most stressful situations for students. A local non-profit organization is giving a...
Anyone who's been to college or university knows it's not always a walk in the park.
We're at Vancouver. Oh, fuck. Whoop, okay. Yeah. Anyone who's been to college or university know it's not always a walk in the park. Students can have dozens of stresses weighing...
I can't afford fucking glasses.
Granville Street nightlife, my homies, has the culture all of its own. It includes some of Vancouver's best-known clubs. After Expo 86, it was known as the Downtown South and resembled today's Downtown East Side. That's whack, yo. Today is as...
Thanks for that, Derek. The stress of mounting debt can have serious impacts on student health. Add to that the exams and final projects that many students are facing, and you have a recipe for hair pulling and sleep loss. I have the story.
You're watching Langara News.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Unique, New York. Okay.
Fuck.
Mr. Cherry, when was the last time you wore a suit twice?
We did because, we're fortunate enough to be...
I got nothing on this.
That one was good, I think.